Hey everyone, welcome back to Dev Parkour. In this video, I'm taking a break from videos about Valence. If you're not aware, I've been working on a product management tool called Valence over the last several months. I'll leave a link in the video description about that, but we're not going to talk about that in today's video. Actually, we're going to talk about how my cat is destroying my desk while I'm trying to record a video. And so if the video has some stops and starts, that's what's going on. He likes to play with the dangly wires. So in any event, what we're actually going to talk about in today's video is a little app that I put together. I kind of gave myself a challenge. I needed to take a little bit of a break from building Valence. And I just wanted to write some code, quick and simple, not spend a whole lot of time. And I've recently heard someone say something. It's basically, I think I was complaining about how people were scheduling meetings over top of other meetings, and asking if other people were having similar issues. And someone said something along the lines of, if there were an app that would automatically decline meetings that were scheduled on top of meetings I had already scheduled, I would pay money for that. Now, let's unpack that phrase a little bit. Number one, there's a clear problem statement, and the problem statement is that people are scheduling meetings on top of other meetings, and I, the user, have to spend time declining those meetings. Obviously, I can't attend them. Something has to give. I need to just decline those meetings. That's what I have decided I'm going to do, is just decline those meetings that I can't possibly go to. There's also a clear statement that that person wants to solve it and is currently solving it. And those are really the two key pieces to determine if you have a solution idea, right? You have a problem and you have people are already trying to solve that. And then the next key piece is people would actually pay money for that. People are willing to pay money for that. They know there has to be a better way, and they're willing to put their money where their mouth is and pay, theoretically, you to solve that problem for them. Now, the next hurdle in determining whether this is a good project to take on, at any scale. But in my case, it was, I just want something fun to do over the course of a couple days, was, can I build it in a day or two? And I specifically gave myself a couple of constraints. I wanted to make this super small, super simple, spend as little time as possible getting to, MVP, hypothesis validation stage. So I gave myself a challenge. I was going to do everything wrong. I was going to do nothing the right way. I was just going to do it the fast way. So I didn't build a continuous integration pipeline. I didn't do continuous deployment. I did use a Git repository, but that's quick and cheap. I wasn't going to worry about how things would necessarily, how I would necessarily design things for scale or anything like that. And in fact, I started with the simplest implementation I could think of, and the easiest thing that would get me started, and that was just building a console app. So Google, I'm using Google for this, Google Calendars. The people that I was who started complaining about this problem, they are also using Google, so it was a great fit there. Google has an excellent .NET SDK, and there's basically one line of code you can drop in your console app and have OAuth, authentication, with Google, so you can connect to all Google services, which I'll show in a future video, probably the next video. Really quick, it's awesome, it's fantastic. You'll see. I think it makes things super easy. So my goal was, can I build this in a day or two? And it turns out that yes, I can. The only reason that I'm recording this now, which is over a week from when I actually started working on this, is because the longest part of the entire process was getting the scope, because apparently events are a sensitive scope with Google OAuth. getting that approved. So that took about a week, going back and forth with Google, making sure I had the right things in place, making sure I documented everything. I spent about 2 days writing code and then a week going back and forth with Google. So the answer is yes, I can build this in a day or two. Launching it took a little bit longer. Now the final question that really, kind of seals the deal for the MVP, the minimum viable product, is do people use it? And for that, I'm actually going to switch over to my screen. Well, first, here is the app running. This is literally all it is. You click this button, decline conflicting meetings, once you're logged in. In order to get to this page, you have to be logged in. So you can actually go to nope.bparks.dev. You can click under Try It, Sign In with Google. And that brings you to this page after you're signed in. I'm already signed in, so it just brings me to this page. And you click this button, and it will decline any meetings that you have not yet responded to that conflict with other meetings that you have responded to. Super simple, but realistically, that was all I needed. I forget how many meetings I've declined just by using this for my personal usage over the last week or so. But that's exactly what I needed. That's exactly what I would use it for. And since I started, I can think of a lot more use cases, and I'm thinking of making it rules driven and that sort of thing. But realistically, like, this is a very, it's minimum. It's also viable. This solves a problem that people have, but it is one use case, specifically solving one use case. I had this issue. Another person who I was talking to had this issue. You might have this issue as well. So feel free to go ahead and check it out. Again, it's all Google verified, so you can log in right now and use it. If you don't want to click this button and have it automatically decline a bunch of meetings without you seeing what it would do, you can check this box to kind of do a dry run first, and it'll show output down here. Then uncheck the box, click the button, and it'll actually decline the meetings that it says it's going to decline. But as for the big question, are people using it? So right now, no, not really. One of these is me for testing, one of these is me at my day job, and one of these is one person who has so far tested it out. Haven't gotten feedback from them, so I don't know how well it worked for them. But the big test will be if this number 3 goes up to, say, beyond 20 maybe over the next week or so. And that's really all I need, right? I'm not going to build any more features. I'm not going to invest any more time in writing code. I'm just going to focus on seeing if people would actually use this, if I have implemented enough to solve the problems that people said they had. And that's really the role of a minimum viable product. So if this would solve a problem for you, go ahead and check it out. I'll leave links in the video description, and there will also be a link down there for how you can talk to me and give me feedback if you want to spend some time chatting about your scheduling issues, your scheduling nightmares, any frustrations you have with dealing with your calendar at work. Let me know how it goes. I'd love to hear from you. And as always, thank you for watching this video. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button if you found this interesting. Both the conversation about building an MVP and the conversation about what I've actually built. Yeah, I think that's it for this video. Stay tuned for more about this and, like I said, going back to Valence. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.